Hey guys, and welcome to this video on the July 2019 eclipses. We have a solar eclipse on July 2nd and a lunar eclipse on July 16th, which is actually just a partial lunar eclipse. But I am going to be sharing my thoughts and my take on these eclipses, how you can utilize the energy if you want to. I also want to say hello if you're new to my channel. My name is Kayleigh Jean, and I have actually talked about the subject of eclipse magic in the past. So if you're interested and you want to hear more about kind of my personal history of working with eclipse magic and also some extra thoughts and sort of my perspective on it, I will link below the video that I made before on this topic, but today I want to talk more specifically about the eclipses that are upcoming in July and how you can work with them, and essentially any extra tips and insights that I can possibly give you so that you can make the most of this energy, because there is a lot of energy to go around with these eclipses. First eclipse, which is a solar eclipse. Solar eclipses always precede lunar eclipses. So on July 2nd, we have the solar eclipse in Cancer at 10 degrees of Cancer. This one's a total solar eclipse, so it is going to be quite significant in terms of the energetic alignment of the sun, moon, and the earth. And it's also conjunct a fixed star, which is known as Alhenna, which is a star that is associated with positive energy for artistic and creative and linguistic abilities. So the fixed star that is kind of conjunct this solar eclipse is definitely bringing in some positive energy for us. And one of the things that I'm really feeling just in general with this solar eclipse is that there's a lot of positive energy around it. There's a lot of new beginnings, and there's a sense of overall optimism that I really like about this upcoming solar eclipse. So one of the ways that you can capitalize on this energy, especially given that with my channel and my videos, I really tend to speak a lot to artists and creatives, because that's really the topics that are closest to my heart, and those are the topics that I tend to want help with every month. So that's why I feel that these readings end up kind of being so intuitively guided in that direction. This is a really good time for you to start thinking, if you're a creative person, or if you're self-employed, or if you have your own business and you are wanting to become more self-employed, like maybe making a transition, or if you want to get your work out there or be seen more in public for what you do. This is a really good eclipse for you, because it's gonna, like I said, bring in that helpful energy around artistic ability and self-expression. And also, solar eclipses have an energy that lasts about 6 months. So until December, which is the next time we have a solar eclipse at the end of December of 2019, this is a really good period for you to kind of, as we're gearing up for this eclipse, start to think about what you want to accomplish between now and the end of the year. Especially, like I said, when it comes to your creativity, your art, your self-expression. If you want to write a book, for example, which is something that I'm working on. If you are putting together a research project, or even if you want to write a proposal, let's say for funding in your company, or if you are applying for a grant with the government, this doesn't just have to be something artistic necessarily. It can be anything that you want to create, anything that you want to put intention into. This is a really good time for you to work with the flow of the astrological energies that are affecting us here on Earth. You can time your efforts and time your input so that you are maybe getting kind of the most out of this energetic wave that we're all going to be riding over the next 6 months, which is really the energy that this solar eclipse has. It's the duration that it lasts. So leading up to this July 2nd solar eclipse, it's a really good time to start thinking about your intentions and start planning out maybe the steps that you want to take. Maybe it's a good time also to return to the goals that you had written for yourself maybe for the year of 2019 and see what you've accomplished, and maybe take a hard look at some of the things that maybe presented more challenges and obstacles than you were preparing for, and really start to kind of modify your track forward, modify your progress, monitor things. It's a really good time to start thinking about realigning your goals also with your emotional state and with what you really want to feel, because so often we can tend to look for these manifestations that are kind of outside of us, and we think we want certain things because we think we're supposed to want them on some level. And so this is also a really good time to kind of look more deeply at what your motivations are for the things that you're trying to create for yourself. And I also feel like this is a really good time to begin to start asking for support, because it's the Cancer energy. The Cancerian energy is very supportive, it's very loving, it's very much a sign that on a very general level, it's a sign that can sort of gather what it needs through the heartfelt connections that it has with other people. So this is a really good time to start thinking about where you may want a partner's help, or where you may want an extra set of fresh eyes on your project. Or this could be a really good time to think about maybe people that you want to be in business with, or people that you want to network with. And depending on some of the specifics that are in your chart, it could also be a really good time to reach out and maybe ask and inquire about some collaborations, or just start to really consider how you can raise your platform to include other energies, or include other things that maybe you haven't considered before, maybe other people, or kind of expanding your outreach, because this is a time in which whatever goals that you have that are very heart-centered and that are deeply motivating for you on an inner and very authentic level, this is the time when those projects are going to be able to get an infusion of energy. So this is a really beautiful solar eclipse. I really like this for creative people. I really like this also for sensitives and artists and readers and people who are kind of into working with metaphysical energy. I feel like this solar eclipse is going to be really, really nice. There are going to be some other energies between July 2nd and July 16th. And so I want to talk about this window of time between the solar eclipse and the partial lunar eclipse that follows. Because here's the thing. Like I said before, remember I was saying that solar eclipses have about a 6-month duration of influence. So there's going to be an opportunity for these new beginnings to take place. And that's why it's a really good time right now leading up to the solar eclipse to really set your creative intentions for yourself. And whatever you want to build or create skill-wise, it's a really good time for that. But between July 2nd and July 16th, that 2-week period, there are going to be possibly some tumultuous emotional things that are being brought up. And the reason that I'm saying this is because the partial lunar eclipse on July 16th is actually conjunct, the moon is going to be conjunct Pluto. So there's a kind of a heavier emotional and possibly almost unconscious energy to the partial lunar eclipse that follows this kind of more happier solar eclipse. Then we have this a little bit more heavy feeling lunar eclipse coming up on the 16th. So it's possible that during this 2-week period, right after you've kind of set these intentions for maybe your new project, or for your plans to get like a pre-existing project back on track, or to fast track it, whatever it is that you want to do, or maybe it's you want to work on relationships or love, whatever it is that you're trying to work on, I'm picking up just intuitively from looking at the astrology, I feel like that first 2 weeks after the solar eclipse, it's possible that a lot of fears and insecurities could be brought up like right away. But the reason that this is happening is so that you can cleanse it. So what I want to encourage you to do, if you're wanting to work more with eclipse energy and kind of see yourself moving in harmony and in alignment with these astrological forces, is proceed with courage and caution in that first 2-week period between July 2nd and July 16th. I do feel that the energies that are surrounding whatever intentions you're setting for the solar eclipse, those are going to continue stronger, but you may have a little bit of a difficult period 2 to 3 weeks after that solar eclipse, simply because that lunar eclipse is really going to be hitting a sensitive place in the sky for all of us. And it could bring up, like I said, fears, insecurities within yourself as a creator, or about your work, or about kind of your self-worth even in some ways. It could also bring up hidden things, secrets, mysteries, problems that you didn't know were going on with people close to you. You may be feeling tender or raw around that lunar eclipse because of that proximity to Pluto. Saturn's also not too far off, and also the south node. So it's hitting a very sensitive point in the heavens for all of us, and wherever this is hitting in your chart, it's really hard to say because everybody has a different chart, but for all of us on a collective level, that partial lunar eclipse could get a little dicey in terms of our emotional state of mind. So what I really want to encourage you to do is have some spiritual practices in place, maybe a meditation that you can do on a daily basis, or even if it's going for a walk outside every day, something that you do that could be really, really simple, but you do it with the memory and the intention that this is going to kind of be a purging experience for your body. So any negative energy, any blockages, any fears that are coming up, you can just visualize and intend that whenever you do your little spiritual routine, and that can take up to 5 minutes even a day, longer if you have it is also great, but even just 5 minutes a day of just even closing your eyes and visualizing yourself purifying your aura, like visualizing energies coming up from the earth and also meeting, down from the heavens, and just cleansing any sort of gunk that could have been collected in your physical tissues, in your energetic body. Just clearing that for yourself is such an amazing practice to do on a daily basis. And if you do it on a daily basis, the magical thing about that is that you can mostly avoid those periods where you get very, very blocked creatively and spiritually and mentally. A lot of times I think when we do feel blocked and when we do feel stagnant and when we feel like things aren't flowing the way that we want them to and we don't know what to do and we're confused, a lot of the time it's because we've simply allowed negative energy or adrenaline or fears and unexamined thoughts and beliefs to sort of build up within our system. And a lot of times what has worked the most amazingly for me is actually just taking a few dedicated moments to myself with my eyes closed to just release all of that and just to see it maybe like a waterfall, just washing down and clearing myself of any blockages. And you'll even see them in your mind's eye if you lean more towards the clairvoyant end of things. You will probably see kind of hot spots of like energetic sludge or stagnation in your body that you'll just wash it away, and it just feels so good. And it's absolutely free. It's something that you can do multiple times a day if you are surrounded by really negative people. For example, I would definitely say that's a must-have tool to have in your toolkit if you are constantly surrounded by people who are bombarding everyone around them with negative energy. Shielding as a practice, as a metaphysical practice, always works great too, but every once in a while, something gets past the shield, so it's really good to just have a daily practice that you're just really comfortable with, where you can just cleanse that energy for yourself using your intention, using visualization and the power of your mind. It's not something to be underestimated. The power of the mind is really insanely awesome, and probably something that we undervalue way too much in our society. So those are some of the little messages and tidbits that I have for you on this solar eclipse and then the partial lunar eclipse on July 16th. So remember, just to recap, It's really good if you can set some clear intentions for yourself in terms of what you want to create before July 2nd, the date of the solar eclipse, and then for the next 2 weeks and even a week or so after that lunar eclipse. So I would say maybe for the first 3 weeks of July through to July 21st, let's say, or July 22nd. Just kind of put your head down, stay calm. If you feel any frustrating energies from other people, or if you feel a lot of fears and insecurities rising up within yourself, just know that this is a perfect time for these kinds of things to sort of rear up, because we're going through a process of emotional cleansing so that these new fresh intentions that we're setting at this solar eclipse can move forward, and we can actually utilize our energy and our actions to the best of our ability. So that's really what I have to say about this. I am going to be doing the inner workings topic this month, which is our monthly spiritual topic that we do every single month on different things that we can look at internally: self-work, shadow work, astrology sometimes. It's really just a hodgepodge of things that are inspiring and exciting that I feel would be worthy to talk about. This month's inner workings topic is all about a ritual that I'm putting together that you can do along with me. It's a ritual and a meditation that you can use to facilitate this releasing of the emotional baggage between July 2nd and the 16th. Now, you can do the ritual anytime after this month, of course, but I really wanted to create something that would be a proper length of time that it would be accessible. Like, you could do it every day, and you can put 10 minutes aside every day to do this. And it would also be something that would ideally present you with an opportunity to have a total energetic reset on your energetic body, your physical body, your emotional body, really just tuning in to where you are at this time without any judgment and with total acceptance. So this is something that I encourage you to do multiple times throughout the month of July, because like I said, I do sense that some of the energies are going to be a little intense, a little dicey, maybe at different points, purely on the emotional spectrum of things. And so in order to kind of work through that and also work with it, in the sense that as these things come up for you personally, you can totally own them and accept them and respect them, and then release that emotional baggage or that fear or those blockages or those negative beliefs about yourself, so that your fresh, beautiful intentions that you're setting at the solar eclipse can actually be fulfilled. And you can use this meditation to really send your energy towards the actions, the projects, and the focus points really that are going to be the most beneficial for you, and at the same time releasing anything like frustration or constant, feedback loops that you have going on within yourself that could hold you back from really expressing those intentions in the most beneficial and empowering way as we go through and finish out the year in 2019. So I will put the information for the inner workings video below. And I am so excited for you. I feel like this is going to be a really powerful time. So please take care of yourselves and enjoy the process. Take it easy. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to other people. Just enjoy the ride because this is going to be a wave. So you can either surf it or you can struggle against it and sort of get clobbered by it. So all of this is done with the intention of kind of helping you surf that wave. That astrological wave, rather than struggling against the currents that naturally kind of want to come through for all of us right now. Okay, guys, I wish you so much love and safety and protection, joy and prosperity as we go through this eclipse season. Take care, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.